Hello and welcome to Kate and Kat's podcast. We run our podcast a little differently than most. Our podcasts are completely spirit-led, and we never know who we're going to have on or what's going to come up to heal. Every episode is a new adventure, where we walk people through healing anything from spirit guides to past lives to inner child work, how the energies and trauma affects the mechanical workings of our physical bodies, and exploring time, space, and dimensions and how it's all happening now. This podcast is for beginners and experts alike. This can be considered explicit content to some, as we do not edit ourselves, and sometimes deep trauma work comes up unexpectedly. And also we cuss like sailors.
On this episode of Kate and Kat Live, we do a little Q&A. It ended up leaning more towards helping people in the comments with some healing help. Although it didn't go exactly as we thought it would, we still love to help, and we hope you enjoy. Without further ado, if you love bad bitches, and that's your fucking problem, on with the podcast.
Hey!
What's up?
All right. Hey, everyone. So we were thinking like doing a Q&A. How would y'all like that? Like ask us anything type thing. Well, then what's the questions? We might end up doing card. I don't know.
Hey, Kate.
Hey.
So I'll ask a question.
Okay.
Hi. So we're going to have it to where you guys ask questions and we'll answer them. But I'm going to ask Kate something because she just helped me with something.
Okay.
When you were like fixing the back of my neck and the back of my skull and it was all blown out, what happened to me?
I saw a hand in there whenever I was repairing all of it. And I was like, well, whose hand is it? And I traced it back and it was coming from that family. And I don't know if this is like a grandmother, whoever blesses them. It seems like someone they know, like someone who knows the family really well. And I was maybe getting like an aunt. Like at first I thought it was mom. And then I was like, this does not have the color of mom.
So should I close off any portals through the kids that I'm allowed that give anybody access into me or my home?
Yeah, it's through them. So it's almost like this blessing is set up to whoever's around them, make them, make safe choices and like stuff like that. Like it's just set up to whoever is around them. And that doesn't give much consent at all. So it's kind of like a no you.
Okay. That gives me a lot more direction. Thank you.
Yeah. So I got blown out today too.
What happened to you?
So none of it even pertains to me. So I don't know why I spun on it so hard, but it's like, 2 people got fired. One of them tried to beat the shit out of another inspector. The other one, they weren't very clear with it. But then the FAA emailed me and they were like, hey, we have a job offer for you. And I was like, oh my God, this is so much. And then we had an air conditioner appointment. And the air conditioner guy was like, we need to reroute your venting, your drain lines. Like,
at your house or at work?
At my house.
The AC guy?
Yeah. And I was like...
And then the AC, the brochure looked like Shaden.
Yes. And it's just kind of like, why is this happening all at once? And it freaked me the fuck out. And I was like, I'm going to have to leave. I'm going to have to, I was just fucking spinning on everything. And I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to do all that. I still have so much to do. It was just fucking weird. And so I had to, as soon as I did the biblical God stuff and cleaned off and all that, it was done. It was like it never happened, which was fucking nuts. But yeah, and it just felt like it was the energy of the day. So like I did all that to work. Like I cleaned off everything to work. And
was the stuff that was affecting me affecting you?
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, it's crazy. Because obviously I went in to help.
Right. I'm extending the work I just did around and through you guys as well. Starting to feel a lot better. Do any of you guys in the comments have any questions? We're just working on our stuff and like asking each other questions. It could be like, hey, I have a situation. How do I, do that? Or, hey, what is the difference between soul fragments and soul fragments? Explain to us what the oversoul thing looks like. Hey, is there anything we can do about how fucking hot it is outside? Like anything.
What do timelines be doing? They be timelining. What do
Joy said, I have a question about my new verbiage, but if it's more for a private session, that's also okay. What's your question, Joy? Paula said, how did you know you had to do biblical God healings, Kate? It's when things don't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, like why would I spin out about things that don't affect anyone? Like those people knew what was going to happen. It's you know what I mean? Like why would I think my whole world is collapsing over an email that
Kate,
Kate and
I are very level-headed. When something is happening, we can go, oh, feels like this. Oh, looks like this. Okay. When we start having anxiety or panicking, or we don't see an up or a down, or like Kate said, your world starts collapsing around you, and it's too difficult to zoom out, that's when we do the biblical God healings, the number 12 healings, get that oversoul the fuck off me healings right away. We've learned that if we don't, it'll overtake us, collapse us. And of course, if that doesn't move the things, then we'll address it further. But that's our, see if it's turn it off and on again.
And also you'll collapse in on yourself, Paula, and then you'll just like lay there and feel like your whole world is caving in when it's really nothing. And does that sound like something you would do, Or does it sound like something someone else would do, if that makes any sense?
Now, for some people, they live in that energy. They don't know. They've never done the biblical God clean off healing stuff. And so it would sound like them. But we do clean offs every day, 20, 30 times a day, to our stuff, to our socials, to our house, to like whatever. It's almost like if your house was clean and there just happens to be like a little tiny sticky mark, we would do like, we would clean it. We'd clean it off. That's it. For us, everything's so clean that when it's not, it's like super noticeable.
Which is super helpful too, because how shitty is it to have dirt on top of dirt on top of dirt, and then you're like, oh my God, you're just constantly spinning. You're constantly in disarray. Right. Everything's constantly up in the air, and that's an exhausting way to live. But, we used to live that way.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us not want to go back. It's like, just constantly. The goddess says, how did you guys start out? TikTok.
Yeah. Like
together or just separately? Like in general? Yeah. I'm going to assume that it's together. So TikTok is how we found each other. And we started talking. Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
Really cool. We couldn't stop talking to each other. And then also, I was just thinking about this today, Kate, like how nice it is that you and I built this completely together to where like we do have a dynamic where we can like in a session, one talk and the other talk, one talk and the other talk on a live. When we're doing healings or workings for things, it's just we build off each other. Yes, because we have been there from the beginning of this. So what Kate and I do, people have asked like, hey, what kind of books can we get on it? And it's like, ours. What kind of, like, where can I research more about it?
Our
TikTok.
page.
And it's like, well, what exactly is it that you guys do? We literally built this healing practice, this skill set from the ground up. We discovered, and we like to say remembered also. And once we figured out how easy it was, we were like, are you fucking kidding me? This whole time? All right, fuck it. Let's tell everybody. Let's tell motherfucking everybody. And then people along the way have tried to been like, no, don't tell them you're teaching the enemy how to lie, or don't tell them because then you guys will be the ones with the answers, or don't. And we were like, why the fuck would we want that? First of all, they're going to run out of lies. Second of all, help people take control of their own lives. And third, if we were the only ones doing it, fuck, that would be a lot on our shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
God, no thanks. No thanks.
And also, what we do in the physical gives us clues into what we do spiritually. So like Kat does Photoshop, or used to do Photoshop, like for her mom and stuff like that, and for family and friends and stuff like that. And that's where she got her verbiage of like copy paste. And I'm an aircraft mechanic, and I've loved airplanes since, forever. And so I got like grounding straps, because that's what we use to ground an engine. Like the stuff that we use in the physical is what we use in the spiritual, because it's us. That's how you build this kind of stuff. That's how you heal. Being authentically you. Dang it. Sorry, it like popped back down.
That's what she said.
Okay, I guess I'm going to scroll up. My question is, what's going on in my belly? Doctors keep passing me around, and I don't know. Ask your team. Be like, hey, team, what is in my belly? Looks like food.
Yeah. But why is it getting stopped up? It's not. Are you chewing? You're not chewing. I don't know who it is. I didn't scroll up to you. I just tuned in.
May Belladonna Bloom.
Hey, May Belladonna Bloom. Do you chew your food? Like chew your food. You can't swallow?
Oh.
But do you chew your food?
Because
I asked this.
I never did.
Kate never did. It was about like a year or two ago that she started chewing her food. So this isn't like you do chew? What is the issues then with swallowing?
What does it just feel better to like sink back with it? And like the feeling? The hair in my mouth. Like the feeling of it sliding down? It still doesn't look like 100% chewed.
It's not chewed.
When you say chew, are you like if that makes any sense? Because I would just kind of bite and then swallow. Right. So does that make sense? It's like a chewing until blank.
So I'm going to go in and do the things as if you didn't chew. And let's see what happens. I'm going to go into your stomach, your esophagus, your digestive system, stomach, esophagus, and I'm going to take my little tentacles, my little feelers, and I'm just going to rip everything up into bite-sized, chewed up pieces. You should be able to feel me.
It's hard to poop, I guess. Also, too, it looks like the timer for the chewing needs to be like put in balanced divine working order. So, Spirit sounds good. Please put it in balanced divine working order. Okay, that extended by a lot, like a minute. Does she really need to chew that long? It's like yes.
It's the speed that she eats. If she eats as fast as she does, so that needs to be adjusted as well. Okay. Then the time of chewing will go down.
Okay. Spirit sounds good. Please put what is that called? The steps of eating back to balanced divine working order and the appropriate lengths conducive to May Belladonna Bloom. It's now.
Okay, so you have a backed up system. I have to go inside your digestive system. I already said that, but I need to go inside to break up because you're stopped up too, like bathroom wise. So I'm going to break that apart. It's all stopped up. Everything is.
Your intestines look chunky.
Because they're worn out. Because they've been spitting all the acid to break down the food, and it wasn't enough.
Okay. Spirit of Science, get it, please. Activate the house cleanse to their bile, stomach, and stomach acids.
Well, we're wanting this to clean you out tonight. They said they have a GI appointment tomorrow.
Activate the team revamp sweep to the lining and the like. Okay. Push that forward and ripple it outwards.
Now it hurts on the neck.
Okay.
I think someone was energetically, there's a hand here, which goes along with the not being able to swallow. Also, it started in November and the chewing part. Because they're not vibing with that whole lifelong chewing. But now that all of that is squared away, there's a hand here.
Oh, do you energetically bite people? Is that what this is? Like like Mad Dog, but energetically, so it's like a stop biting me.
Well, you said I think a witch was attacking you, but like, what did you do back in November that would cause someone to try to do that? So, okay, so this is kind of how it fits right now. I have a house full of kids, and my 6-year-old came up to me and was like, one of Ben's kids hit me. And I go, well, did they tell you to leave them alone? And she's like, yes. And I was like, did you leave them alone? And she said, no. And I said, if you don't respect people's boundaries, they're going to physically enforce them. So it's up to you. Do you want to be around someone who physically forces, like, boundaries to stop? Because apparently, if you didn't do anything wrong and they hit you, you don't want to be around them. And if they hit you because you wouldn't leave them alone, then you need to adjust accordingly, basically. Because that's what this feels like.
Also, too, when you push on people's boundaries, it hurts, which is why the violence starts.
Because they don't know what else to do. It's like, get the fuck off of me.
Yeah. It's like, hey, please stop. Hey, please stop. Hey, please stop. And then. Was like a kid? Or like a younger cousin or something?
Well,
Okay.
I would go look at the hand thing and the chewing in the stomach and stuff. That seems to be all good. And go visit the closing statements. Anybody else? What other questions?
I'm looking.
Oh, they have the same last name. How can I check what I need to heal about my husband going to Japan with us? Tawny said.
What do you mean?
Myra, California said, how can we do biblical God healings? We have them, both of us have them posted on our page somewhere, or we have the ability for you to, like, ask us for help. Sessions, classes, all sorts of stuff.
Thug Empress, I've been in a deep depression since January and I can't snap out of it. The first thing I went was, what did you do in January? And second thing was like, is it a seasonal thing? Which is really strange. And that makes me go to contracts with seasons. Like seasonal depression. if that makes any sense. What do you mean moods, Tawny? You're Japan.
Dog imprints break soul contracts that are no longer in your highest good with seasonal depression.
And a manic episode. It has happened twice now, both in January.
Can you go before you had the manic episode and make sure that you're grounded?
And then I have a manic panic washout healing too. If you want to activate it on you. And also it still looks like it's connected to something. It looks like it's connected to work. We work retail or something. Somewhere where you have to have a high tolerance, but it was like a breaking point.
They were doing dragon breathing when it happened. Oh, you don't have to worry about it. Everybody's just free throwing comments. The only real Banana Anna said apologies for interrupting, and I was like, oh, it's all good.
So when he's grumpy or angry, Tawny says it makes everyone uncomfortable. Does he like throw stuff? Thug Empress, you're a stay-at-home mom. So then what, your kids were pulling at you? Oh, do you think of it as a job? That's a lot of work. Yeah.
It is. Something's clearing with that.
Are you afraid that you won't meet the needs of all of your kids? Because it seems like you do.
Yeah, even in a state of manic.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
You do. They say, Thug Emperor says, yes, and my partner. You do. You do meet their needs.
But you got to take care of yourself, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which you try to do. This just got in the way.
It looks like that was part of the reason why it freaked you out. You meet their needs, and there was nothing to, like, after that, there was nothing to see or do. Like, you met all their needs, and so it was just kind of like, well, then
they said,
what do I need to do?
I feel taking time for myself is selfish. Break soul contracts with that as well. Like, you've heard all the phrases where you can't pour from an empty cup, or you've got to put the mask on yourself first. Can we do word and phrase healing to selfish? Because I think that word's not actually accurate.
Spirits ask if it activate Kate's word and phrase healing to the word selfish. I always felt like selfish was made up to make people feel bad for liking themselves.
Self-care. Yeah. It's made up.
Tawny says he gets really quiet and very short with his responses. Feel like we have to walk on eggshells. He gets really quiet. Oh, she said it twice. Walk on eggshells. Can you remove the eggshells? Neutralize the eggshells around your husband's anger. There should be no eggshells being dropped. It should just be like okay, he's angry. Do you need assistance? Do you need help with something, sir? Like, what's wrong?
Be a big boy. Use your words.
And then sometimes all people need is like a reaching out. If he's like, what is it, whenever they implode on themselves? Like, it's kind of like an implosion and they don't want to inconvenience anyone or whatever. Sometimes all it is reaching out.
What's cascarilla? What is that?
Is that crushed eggshells? Powder the eggshells into cascarilla. Isn't that for protection?
Cascarilla. A small tree or shrub? No, that's not what I want.
Oh, it's an eggshell chalk used for protection and calming too.
That sounds perfect. Do that, Tawny. And like, you have the option to neutralize, but for the betterment of your family, like, the first step would be putting it in powder and putting it into the cascarilla. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. Do that first. Then you need to help him see where the fuck these eggshells are coming from. Why does he keep breaking eggs? Like, what's he doing with the yolk? And like,
well, figure out good eggs.
Figure out why he is. So there's different steps to this. You can transmute and alchemize the stuff that's already there. Then figure out that's like the base to make it to where it doesn't like overextend everybody. Then as that's calm, go to the root and figure out what the fuck's making him mad in the first place.
For real. And why eggs too? That seems purposeful. Of like, is he trying not to inconvenience people, which wouldn't be your problem, but it's like if you can give him something to be like, hey, I'm asking you for a reason because I care or whatever. That makes any sense.
So the thing that comes to mind is the other day you had a video up and you said that like people will come to you for like a healing thing or like a break away from relationship, and then they'll reach right the fuck out there and like call the person again and then contact you and be like, hey, it didn't work. And you're like, listen, basically, you dumb bitch. If you're the one reaching back out to them, that's not a me issue. That's a you fucking issue. So if we can combine what you do and what we do, then that should take care of the issue. Because if we just calm the situation and he's still a fucking erupting volcano, it's like clean up, clean up, clean up, clean up as the pot boils over. That's a lot of different analogies.
Not full on isolate, Tani said. He'll just go in the room away from everyone. Right. So he's going to have to learn, or he's going to have to figure out what the root is.
Is he a feeler, Tani? Is he an energy feeler? Because I know you're more of a seer. He doesn't want to feel.
Yeah, I would say do. Tani.
Say so. She was saying, yeah, I would say so. The stuff that Maya is putting in there, that like if you want to do any kind of like spellwork stuff, go for it. I would write that down or take a screenshot of it. His feelers need to be cleaned off also, and they need to be rebirthed, like cut off and rebirthed. His tree needs to be trimmed.
He needs to make everything conducive to himself too, to this form.
And he's got to figure out how to add protections to his feelers. And it's like he's trying to make sure none of the doors get slammed and then getting pissed off that his fingers are getting hurt.
He has big ass suctions on his feelers too, like big, huge. And it's like, some of the feelings might not even be his. He might just be like suctioning them off of people and then be like, oh, what's this? Ah, get off. Ah, that's probably why he goes in a room and isolates. So they definitely, needs to be more conducive to his now human. Overly empathetic. Which sucks for them. Like it might have been useful at one point, but damn.
I'm overly empathetic. I don't fucking like it. So I take care of it. I don't want to feel everybody else's stuff. I don't want to be the hostess with the mostest. I don't want to be Captain Save-A-Ho. I don't fucking want it. And when I've got people pulling at my tentacles and tying them in knots and treating my feelers like a fucking maypole, because I let them in, because I have a house full of fucking people, I have to figure out how to neutralize the situation and cut off the dead and regrow the new and get them the fuck off. And sometimes I have to call in Kate and be like, I'm stuck. My feelers are all tied up in knots. I don't know what's going on.
It's almost like intrusive feeling. Like I know I've talked about on my page, intrusive seeing and stuff like that, where it's like people just throw their weekend at me and I'm like, I don't care. This is, or like, this is how I'm feeling, Kate. It's like, that's so, I'm sorry. Yeah, spiritual hygiene.
So I have to make sure that I don't have, that I'm not trying to be. So it's not like people are making me Captain Save-A-Ho. It's that I'm allowing that situation to happen by making everything open and out there without any kind of shielding or protection on it whatsoever. And again, like you said, spiritual hygiene. I'm just, like your husband, Tawny, swinging my dicks everywhere.
Yes, big dicks. Maloney says, hey guys, I seem to get tongue twisted or can't remember words. I also have big walls around me. Help. Are you feeling too many things at once? Are you a knower?
Her third eye and sacral are backwards.
Okay. Put them upwards.
Can you put your energy centers or chakra points or whatever the fuck you want to call them back to balanced divine working order, please? Conducive to your now human form.
Can you update and upgrade the way information comes at you? Yeah.
It's all swollen. It's ruptured up here.
Too much. Update and upgrade what the knowledge tunnels is what this looks like.
Or plumbing.
And yeah. And the
processing.
It's almost like the information that gets thrown at you. What is this like? Not the filters, but the lenses, I guess.
The perception?
There we
the
go.
cache.
Yeah.
Hers is not, I keep wanting to use computer terminology, and wherever this is ruptured is not computers.
It's very like air HVAC. This looks like an HVAC.
Okay, that makes more sense. Which you do have a computer form, but it's like this. So what we do is we tune into the sector that is messed up. So it could be a past life. It could be an inner child. It could be a robot. It could be a computer. It could be a plumbing issue. This is HVAC.
Airflow to the brain.
Yeah, I was about to say, which is air conditioning stuff.
Huh.
Who tried to cut it off? Or did the fan run too long?
The dad? Did a male figure in your life, most likely your dad, like call you a smartass a lot? Talking back? Like this feels very like, is that what you think?
You would think, Mr. Riley, the nose and lungs, but it's up here. It's processing from up here. It hasn't hit down here. It's ruptured up here. It can't even get to here. She's she's tongue twisted.
Maloney says, yes. Ha 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 ha, yes. Okay.
Hello.
That's what's happening here. So can you...
Is he throwing... Was it pebbles in the fan then? Every time he called her a know-it-all?
Okay.
Can you... How would you get pebbles out of there? What would you do, Malone? I would tell him to kick rocks, but like... Can you... This is so weird. Can you have your teenager self have a baseball bat and be the guardian for that? And anytime he tries to throw a bullshit, like, you're a know-it-all, blah, 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 pebble in there, can you have her swing away? And that way it gets her aggression out and it helps you at the same time.
Turning off the fan turns off the processing. You don't want to do that.
Your AC will be dead. It'll be smoldering. You won't be able to think at all.
Yeah,
you would sit like a zombie.
And you're just doing what he wants. Does he want... Like, I almost want you to go back and be like, do you want me to be dumb? Do you want me to just stop learning Is that
do
what
you want me to be a smart ass or a dumbass? Which do you prefer?
He would hate the dumbass more. He would hate it that you didn't know the things.
My family called me a know-it-all, and I was like, sorry. I know what I know. I don't. So the reason my family got really mad at me for being a quote unquote know-it-all is because I didn't ask them for help. I didn't come to them. Please help me with this. I didn't need them. Sorry. I choose people. I don't need people. I choose them. And then I stopped choosing them. That wasn't enough.
It looks like it's lifting everything.
Yeah.
Even the lines in the ceiling, the air conditioner lines in the ceiling, those ducts, that's what it is. He was sitting on them.
There's a leak in the pan too.
Can you upgrade and update that too? Like the pan, the whole condenser unit, everything. Be conducive to your now. The ducts, the whole framework of your HVAC. There you go. The fan looks titanium now.
Good. It cuts a motherfucker too. The blades are fucking sharp on that motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
It feels real good to eat knowledge now. It's like I feel like it's like a celery stick of knowledge. It's like,
oh my gosh, fucking awesome.
Put a book in there.
Oh my god, so good.
It feels so good.
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure that all of this that goes out to her mouth is also clear. So we need to change. You already did the ducks. The filters is what you started to say back in the beginning of it. You have the wrong filters. Can you ask to upgrade the filters that are conducive to your now human form? Okay, it makes my tongue go. Blah, 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 blah.
There's a lot of bullshit in the information that you consume.
They need to clean off their source code again.
Yeah.
Or upgrade it.
Okay, so what? Align with your true divine source, update, upgrade your connection to source, and yeah, clean all that off.
Can you secure it all too? Like activate your own divine shielding and guardians and security to this conducive?
So, like giant spitballs is kind of what it looked like. That's why I was like, God, it's like a lot of bullshit you're consuming. But this source cord thing, that makes sense. Source connection. All right. That actually feels really good.
Yeah.
Speed all this up. All right. I'm going to suggest the closings, close up, / sign offs, whatever. Whichever.
Our pages, whichever one. We both have them pinned.
Joy says, is there a way to make ear tongues less sensitive? I did the clean offs and rebirth, but your adjustments.
Yeah, you have to adjust them. Just like the sensory knob. You have to make them to where they like it's like a volume kind of knob, but it's for touch.
And it's kind of like also, what do you want them to pick up on? Like, because that's a pep talk for them too.
Yeah, and it can adjust the sonar too, of like long distance or short distance, energy stuff, or things in the room.
That actually feels pretty good, Joy. Yeah. Speed that up. Okay. Mr. Riley Ducky, is there a saying to feel reconnected to hearing intuition loudly? Like turn your hearing up? Like, is that what you're...
Hey, go ahead and we're going to start with the basics with this and start giving you healing phrases that match what we think you're saying. And then, you know what? Infuse this with clarity and put this in a language we can understand, please.
Mm. It looks like you're looking at your hands a lot.
Yeah. Do you think that you're supposed to have more clairaudience? Like, you have everything, but like some people see with their hands. Hey, Raven, it's been a while. It's good to see you too. Some people see with their hands. Some people hear with their like body, or with their thoughts, or they hear with the painting of the pictures, like descriptive words. So hearing doesn't always make sounds.
What if you were to touch a rock? I think that's how you hear. I think you have to touch the things, which is how some people read tarot.
You know those machines that connect to plants and rocks and stuff? What are they called? What are those fucking things called?
Sonar. Fuck. Not called sonar.
Machine that listens to plants. Plant wave music device. Can you put your hand wave music device back into balanced divine working order? Ooh. Nice. That feels really nice.
Good. Looks like you just kind of.
So I don't have sight, but the way that I feel, I will say it looks like blah, blah, blah. Because I feel colors, I feel shape, I feel emotions. But I'm not actually seeing it. It's just, I feel it. It felt really cool. It was like it had waves. It was like,
I want to be like, try it. Like, touch something near you. I don't know. Maybe adjust the volume.
Oh, you feel its inner thoughts. Like if you were to walk up to a stranger or whatever and you're like, hey, like, shit, Tawny's husband. And you were like, and it's like, what's bothering you, man? And he's like, I don't fucking know. It looks like you could be like, let me see your hand for a minute. And then you tune in and you're like, it seems like you blah, 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 blah. When you were younger, did you da, 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 da? It seems like very much like Kate was saying, the ways that some people read cards, you read the room or the objects or the things in the physical, which you can extend that out to energetic stuff too. You can touch with energy hands.
Also make sure that it's not intrusive to your own thoughts.
Yeah, because then you're a mess.
And then like everything you touch, you'll just like, ah.
Kind of like the guy with the golden touch.
Ah.
You could probably merge with that guy. You probably could. Some people touch things and they see, they get visions, like I'm like so Raven or whatever.
Looks like you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. That's exciting. Marjorie said, can we copy and paste all that last healing to our eyes?
I mean, the HVAC one, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if you make it conducive.
Oh, the ear tongue one.
Oh. Okay. I was like, it won't, it's not a vacuum for your eyes, but you could try. It's like.
Too much info and not discernment of what's what. Oh yeah, if it's intrusively like all over, yeah. It'll fuck you up. You'll think it's your own stuff. For a while there, this is a really interesting topic. So there was a while there that people would try to come at us for saying spirit, and they would say, like, if you talk to spirit, you're talking to everything out there, and you're gathering many different people, whatever. So we tried for a while saying source, and it didn't go so well. What happened? What was the difference between saying spirit and source for you? You've talked about it before.
For me, source made it happen, whether it was in my highest good or not. So it fucked me up. It didn't matter. I said source, blah, 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 blah. It's what does a computer do? It does what you tell it to do. So that, of course, that makes sense. Spirit is a command. Spirit is like this is what I'm telling you to do. And if it doesn't work, the code won't work. The code won't work. And the computer.
You'll get like an error. Like punching in the wrong number on a gate code and it just does nothing. No sound, no gate opening, nothing. Try again.
So people would come up in my comments and Kat's comments and be like, well, I only talk to source. And I'd be like, you fucking do that. You go right on ahead. And I would just laugh. And they would never ask why either. They'd always just be like, I will. It's okay.
Okay. Have
Sounds
fun.
Great.
And we will continue to do it the way that we do it. Thanks.
Almost like we know what we're doing. Weird.
Now, I will say that sometimes I'll use coding, like with the emoji coding or whatever, but it has spirit if it's in the highest good infused in all of it. It's just sometimes I try different things to click with different ways that people receive information. Like if you just say please, blah, 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 but it's using our same like coding system, it's going to have spirit if it's in the highest good in it. Unless you're working with someone who writes their own language and they actively are like, I don't want it if it's in my highest good. I want it this way. Mm-hmm. And then it gets switched around. Hey.
So it's all about what makes it you. What makes it yours? If that's the way you want to do it, then fucking do it that way. You know?
Hey, and there's some people that are still the most comfortable asking like a deity or a god to do things for them. That's just what's comfortable for them instead of doing it themselves or asking their own computer system. That's fine too.
Joy said, can I still do your meditations with my new verbiage?
Yeah, Joy, you can do anything that you want to do.
BARBIE, Barbie girl. That's the motto. Helen said, can I help Dell save his leg? Well, yeah, you can do anything you want to do, Helen. BARBIE, Barbie girl.
You can go back before it happens and do prevention and protection work and then do healings and stuff. You know how to do it all. You know how to do every single bit of it. I have orange-sized mass in my chest. I've been running through all the healings. Wish me luck. Hold on, Beffy Mar. When did it happen?
Makes me want to peel it, but
yeah, because the orange part stuck out to me too.
Yeah, like fucking weird.
I mean, I know they do orange size, grapefruit size, golf ball size, but the orange part peeling it stood out to me as well.
Yeah.
Joy, yours works the way that yours works. Even if you do the meditations, it still works your way. That's how you have it set up. And that's how, like, my team knows. Kate's team knows. Your team knows. We've worked together before. Bevy said it started before I was born, but grew.
Do the orange peel healing to it before it starts. Like, go back to before it happens. Do the orange peel healing to it.
There you go.
I don't know where you, like, it sounds so weird, but it's like, did you pick oranges? Like, when you were, did you try to eat a whole orange, like, in a past life? Like, this is definitely an orange.
It reminds me of those things where they're like, don't eat watermelon seeds or they'll grow in your stomach.
Yeah.
Beffy, don't just say great thanks. We're not done with you.
It kind of makes me go, what is it, Florida oranges? It makes me go, don't go to Florida in that life. Like, I don't know why. Can you align all your pathways in that life, like merge with that version of you, obviously, exchange Beffy information, and then align the pathways that are meant for you in that life. Because I don't fucking think you're supposed to go to Florida at all in that life. Yep, looks like it's Georgia instead. Don't swallow the peach.
Can you break soul contracts with all of that?
With swallowing fruit whole, like why?
The like wives' tales or the warning tales or whatever.
Spirit science can please activate kids' word and phrase healing to old wives' tales. Husbands started those. Done, Beffy says.
Okay. Do the closings or the close-up / sign-offs or the closing statements, Beffy, and then let us know. Like in Kate's comments or my comments, let us know. Kate, it's 7:52.
Oh. Okay. Do y'all want to go ahead and go? Like, do y'all want to do the
one more?
Okay. I was gonna say I could do the closings. Venezuelanito says, "Do you guys have an Adderall dupe? LOL. Infuse yourself with Adderall."
Yeah.
That's it.
Or I made a sigil for it. It's just a star, like the kind that you go doop 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 doop.
Yes, of course everyone can do this.
Yeah.
But Venezuelanita, like, even if you want to get specific with it, like 60 milligrams. I don't know why you do that. That's a lot of milligrams, but maybe 30, 20.
Yeah, I personally would do soul consent, team allows, or ask them if they want it. But your mom, there aren't rules. You can do it. That's why the amount of milligrams. I think she wants to wean it off and try it.
I see.
Because she doesn't want to do the drugs anymore, and she doesn't want to pay for the medication and all the stuff. But she doesn't want to like fuck them up. So she wants the percentage of the milligrams so she can like try it out, test it out, and wean them off.
I got something about spaghetti. Is spaghetti like their comfort food, or is this like a...
Oh, infuse it into their spaghetti? Is that what you said?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Spaghetti is their dopamine.
Spirit connected to me properly, to my body.
Can you untangle spaghetti being their dopamine? They're like food and dopamine if it's not in their highest good? And break all contracts with that are no longer in their highest good. Yes, she loves pasta. Okay, that makes sense. Speed that up and safety wire that down.
Chaos conclusion. They keep asking like how they want to do this, like what we're doing. They keep asking like, how do I do this securely? We have all of it on our pages. We've got lots of different healings of like how to clean off your connection to source, connect you to your true divine source, activate your divine shielding, guardians, bouncers, all that stuff. Like that, both of our pages are dedicated to that kind of stuff. She said, yes, felt that. Thank you.
Okay.
Like, I mean, we've got, when I say I'm not writing you off either, like we literally have a fucking shit ton of just like free healings out there and like explanations, like a shit ton on multiple platforms.
Fucking awesome.
We've been like posting them since 2020. We figure something out. Here you go. Like it's overwhelming how much is out there. I would love to say yes, but it is 7:55 and we gotta go.
Yes. I love y'all. For those of y'all that have followed along and done it for yourselves, closing statements on Kat's page, sign-offs on my page. What's up?
Hey, Chaos Conclusions, we also have This is a podcast that comes out next week. We've got free podcasts, videos to watch, YouTube things. I mean, like
classes, guided adventures.
Yeah, we do guided adventures. We do have paid stuff too. It's not just all like we host a multitude of things. But if you're wanting to dive in, go to our pages. Okay.
Don't be to disconnect, everyone.
Thanks for hanging out. Love you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
To book a dual session with Kate and Kat, visit either of our websites listed in the description of this video. For a spirit guide reading, you can book with Captain Kate at www.captainkate.com. For a one-on-one trauma healing session with Cat and Boots, you can visit www.catandboots138.com.